Hello, hello. I'm just making sure that I'm live. Facebook's a bit glitchy today for me. There we go. Awesome. Cool. So, happy Monday. I just wanted to jump on and do my little weekly live. I have some cards today from the Fairy Tarot deck by Bradley Valentine. So I'm just going to crack on and get on with that. But before I start, I just wanted to say what an amazing couple of weeks it's been. It has been absolutely. Let me close all these windows that are going on here. There's lots going on. Um, it's been an amazing couple of weeks. September has certainly got off to a really brilliant flying start. As many of you know, I was running Heal from the end of August into September. And then last week I had the two-part frequency masterclass. So it has certainly been a busy start to September. The pop-up group in Hale was one of my favourite places to hang out over the last couple of weeks. The energy in there has been stunning. The beautiful connections and friendships that have been made, not the, alongside the gorgeous healing and the inspiration and the ding ding aha moments and all that stuff that's been going on. So it's been really, really lovely inside that group. So I'm just going to pop the comments up in here as well because I don't always get to see if people are commenting, and if you're watching live, let me know. So I'm just gonna pop those in there. So if you're watching me live, give me a wee hello, let me know you're there. And if you're watching replay, leave me a wee hashtag replay so that I know you've caught up. But as I said last week, the energy in Heal and then in frequency, the frequency chat has been good as well. So it's been lovely just to be able to provide that for you. As a result, it's been beautiful. 8 brand new members have stepped into Soul Food Circle. I'm so incredibly grateful that they have trusted me with their onward healing journey, and it's going to be so good. I'm looking forward to seeing many of them tonight inside Soul Food Circle. Tonight we're going to be doing like a 4-card spread to harness the energies of the transitioning seasons as we step into autumn time. Not that the weather has really got with the program; it's still really incredibly warm, almost unbearably hot at night. Sleeping's difficult. I'm sure you're all finding that. So with any luck, the weather will get with the program soon, and we'll realise that we are shifting into autumn time. But these shifting temperatures, this shifting into autumn, and we haven't quite managed to cool down yet. Normally, as we step into September, we usually have a fair bit of sunshine, yeah, but we're starting to normally feel a nip in the air, and that hasn't happened yet. And I think it really does go to show that there's an excessive amount of climate change, climate warming going on, and as stewards of this planet, anyone who's done their shamanic practitioner training with me or has had the Moon A key will know that we are earth keepers. We have stepped into that stewardship role of the planet, and one of those things is that we really must tread more gently on this planet. We must look after her, and because Mother Earth is where we have it's Mother Earth that gives us everything that we have. We only have this one planet, so we really need to look after her. And last week inside Soul Food Circle, we had a real good chat about that because Betsy Nemeth from Enchanted Dream Gardens came to speak to us last week, primarily about her connection to the Fae realms and the fairy kingdoms and the elemental energy. But she was also chatting to us about how we can create sustainable ecosystems in our own backyards and our back gardens, whether it's a window box, a container garden, or actually in our garden space if we're blessed to have that. Because we really do need biodiversity. We need the pollinators to come. We need to look after the bees. We need to look after the insects. We need to look after the things that pollinate our flowers and our plants and our crops, which then help us have food to eat, because without them we would not be here. It's as simple as that. So she was helping us understand how, what to do with regards to what to plant and when to plant and how to do those things. And it was very, very, very lovely and very useful. And it's something that, as a fairy Reiki master and someone who works with elemental energy and shamanic practice, and as I said, I hold them in a key rights, but also have passed those out to those of you who have been on my shamanic practitioner courses. It's really important that we continue to work with this elemental energy, that we work with the natural kingdom, because when we do that, we have the benefit then of harnessing the magic harnessing the magic of the fairy kingdom, harnessing the magic of earth, air, fire, and water to bring about more healing, more abundance for the planet and then for ourselves. So, as part of that, you may have seen that I have a 6 week, brand spanking new 6 week program coming up starting in October, which is all about harnessing the magic of the fairy Reiki energies and the elemental energies so that we can bring about natural healing for ourselves and the planets. And during that 6 week course, I'll be diving deep into each of the elements about how we can work with the fairy kingdom, how we can work with the elemental energies, how we can work with Reiki and shamanic practice in order to put all those things together to create a coherent practice where you can really tap into your connection with the natural kingdom. And as part of that as well, I've decided to partner up with the British Beekeepers Association, and I will be donating £25 for every single course sold. So by joining the course, you're not only helping yourself, but you're also going to help save the bees, because that's really, really important. So I'd love as many of you as possible, and you'll hopefully see the link in the comments and in the description and title for this video. One other thing I wanted to chat before I jump into the cards for this week is that I also continue to support biodiversity through my association with Neals Yard Remedies. And yesterday I spent a couple of hours learning about what they're doing to support biodiversity and how their ecosystems and how they provide all the organic ingredients for their beautiful natural products. So yesterday I was spending time there, and as you may know already, Neals Yard has been on a mission since 2011 to support the bees. So I feel that this is kind of divine timing, really, that the Faery Reiki course is coming in with, as I say, the donations. Excuse me, frog in the throat this morning. Hold on. as as I said earlier, I'm going to be donating £25 for every course that is bought to the British Beekeepers Association. But Neals Yard themselves have also been on a mission since 2011 to save the bees with their Be Lovely campaign. And so far, they have raised over $250,000 and saved 56 million bees. So I'm really excited that their new product range is being unveiled at 4 o'clock today. So if you haven't already, make sure that you are in the Neals Yard Facebook group. If you're not sure what that is, drop me a wee comment and I'll send you the link. Make sure you're in there so that you can get notified of the latest deals and special offers. Gorgeous new gift range coming up. And you'll see all the little bees and all the little insects on the covering of all their products this year and this season as we step into really trying to promote this biodiversity and this sustainable living. So that's the vibe. Okay, so that's kind of what's going on in the background, and that's a lot of stuff, you know. So I have to say, I've had a sneak preview of the gift range for this year. Gorgeous, gorgeous. But I feel it all ties in really nicely with the energy theme this week. There is certainly a theme as we step into this season, as we move into September now. We're almost halfway through the month already. I know, right? Okay, it's really fast. But we're almost halfway through the month, and there's a real theme of personal responsibility. Manifesting what you focus on and elevating yourself as you stand in your own power and your own personal truth. And it's really important. And the cards that I've pulled, the cards I've pulled have come from the Fairy Tarot cards deck by Radley Valentine. Gorgeous set of tarot cards, but with fairy themes. And I thought that was appropriate since I'm talking about a fairy Reiki course. And saving the bees and all that gorgeous natural energy and the magic. But Mercury's also going to be moving direct this weekend. So as we wrap up the Mercury retrograde period, it's time maybe for you to dot those I's, cross those T's, just look at the detail of what's going on in your life. Maybe just hang fire until the weekend before signing any contracts or anything like that. But just really it's a great time to speak from your soul. When Mercury's retrograde, it gives us a chance to be the messengers and to step forward into that space in our life. So it's really, really important that you think about that and think about how you can speak your truth. Okay, and how you can do that. And one of the cards that's come up to help us with that this week is the Justice card. So in the Justice card has come up and it shows two fairy twins looking at the gorgeous Excalibur sword. And the Excalibur sword is one that only appears whenever there's truth and justice and people who are worthy of it. So in the energy of this card, it's very much about reviewing details. It's very much like we've said with Mercury's about to move direct later this week. It's about really checking out the details, really making sure that you're dotting those I's, crossing those T's, but that you are acting with self responsibility, that you're acting with integrity, doing the right thing even when no one's looking. Because in that way, then you can be sure that natural justice will prevail, no matter what you're going through at the minute. So it's very much about that sort of um, recognizing your divine soul, allowing your head to get down into the heart space. And we'll see that with the next card as well. I do think head and heart are finally going to get together, and we're going to actually be able to amalgamate the two so that you can really drop your head down into your heart, but also then have a clear sense of who you are and what it is that you stand for. And as I say, part of that for me is about standing as a sustainable, um, trying to walk more gently on the earth, taking a look at where I can help, where I can recycle more, where I can reuse more, where I can reduce the carbon footprint, and really, as I say, try to help. My way of doing it this for the next few weeks and months is to donate, as I say, £25 for every Faery Reiki course sold. I'll be donating £25 to the British Beekeeping Association to try and help our local pollinators and to save those little bumblebees, because they're out to help us, and that's what we want. So you may have noticed that this week the sun's energy is very active at the minute, and you might have this sort of bubbly feeling in your tummy. You might feel a wee bit anxious, or you might feel a little bit, stressed or something. There's change in the air, and sometimes that can give us a wee feeling of unease. So perhaps that's something that's going on. Very much about, there is change in there as we transition into the autumn season. The veil is thin between the worlds at this point, as we run into October and coming up to sort of Samhain and the gorgeous energy of that season. We have change in the air, and with the solar activity as we're approaching solar maximum, the solar flares are flaring out. There's lots and lots of activity. It can leave you as a human being on this earth feeling a bit tired, a bit sore, a bit sort of what's going on, maybe feeling a wee bit funny. We've also a new moon coming up this week as well, and the energy of that new moon is asking us to cleanse, clear, declutter. It's nearly like spring clean vibes coming in. It's the energy of a new moon in Virgo. And even though we're in the autumn in the northern hemisphere, in the southern hemisphere, we're holding the balance for them as they step into their springtime. So, there's shifting energies. We're approaching equinox later, a couple of weeks' time, there'll be equinox. We've got now the Ace of Summer showing up for us here, and the Ace of Summer is all about the new beginning. So it ties in really nicely with this new moon energy that we're going to have sort of Thursday, Friday time. It's asking you to open your heart and your soul to step in and listen to that. Notice the little voice within, because this is a time for new beginnings, and the new moon harnesses that energy for us as we talk about that this week. And, so very much about, you might even have kind of like the two of these. That's where I'm saying the head and heart, the Justice card and the Ace of Summer card coming up. So that's sort of truth coming in from the mind, and the sword of truth stepping down and puncturing down into that heart space to allow us to open up and to speak our truth, to open up, hold our voices, to have that maybe a spiritual epiphany, maybe something will finally drop into place, but that will only happen when we take the time. So this card, the Ace of Summer, is very much about your cup running over, about noticing the abundance. And again, as we harness the energies of the fairy kingdom, of the elemental kingdom, if we step into nature and notice that magic and abundance, tap into that with the new moon energy, set your intentions. Might be time to clean and clear and declutter all those old sorts of the things that you don't need anymore. It's maybe time to set them down now as we move into a new season. Work with the seasons as well, folks. It's not about sort of just having to always run and always be on. Notice how your energy's feeling as you step into this new season. Okay, as I said earlier, the weather hasn't quite got with the program. It's still very, very hot. We're not really getting that nip in the air yet. We're not really getting the shift, but the trees, you can see the leaves shifting on the trees. Nature is starting to wind herself down as we step towards this part of the year. Soon she will show us how beautiful it is to let things go. Okay, so yes, we still have the Ace of Summer card showing up here, and the very much that sort of depicts a fairy in Chalice Well in Glastonbury, where it's said that the Holy Grail is buried. So it's very much there's a gorgeous dove and everything on it. This is about, the beginning of a new relationship. Is it a new relationship with the earth? Is it a new relationship with yourself? A new relationship with someone else? new relationship with spirit, perhaps, but it's about tapping into that energy, very much holding on to that. Okay, so it kind of ties in really nicely. New moon coming up later this week. You will feel maybe compelled to declutter, to tidy up, to clear your space, to clear your mind, to get stuff sorted. And the two of those together, that Justice card and the Ace of Summer card, very much asking you to look at that. Okay. But as I said to you earlier, the Four of Winter then comes round and it reminds us to take time out. So the Four of Winter, the Four Swords in a traditional deck, this is time to recharge, recalibrate, recuperate, actively rest. You do not have to be on all the time. And if we want to hear that inner voice of our soul, if we want to actually tap into that inner wisdom and our soul space, then we have to take some time out. And that time out might mean time to meditate. It might mean time to maybe start your day with, like we were talking about in Heal a couple of weeks ago, and in frequency last week, we were talking about taking that time, taking that space, making your own sacred space within yourself, listening to what your heart and your soul are trying to say to you, because you don't have to look outside yourself for answers. You can look within. And we can see in this card, there's a gorgeous little fairy taking refuge and having a little sleep in a pine tree. And there's a big pine cone here. The pine cone, very symbolic of the pineal gland, that spiritual awakening whenever you start the third eye opening up. So it may well be, that you can only have that understanding and that those flashes of intuitive awareness and the soul voice when you take time to listen. I also think as well that as we come out of the summer period where our routines have been all over the show and we're now stepping back into, kids have gone back to school, we've got that back to school vibe, whether you have children or not at that age or that generation. Um, maybe that's long past for you, or maybe you don't have kids or whatever, but there's still that energy in the air of the back to school vibe and everybody trying to rush and rush and rush and get things sorted and everything getting back in. And it can leave you feeling a wee bit tired, a wee bit stressed. So take some time, because if we want to be able to drop our heads down into our hearts and to have those spiritual epiphanies and those moments of clarity that we're talking about, we need to be well rested. We need to be able to actually you take that time. Self-care is important, and it might be that maybe now is the time for you to get back into your self-care routine. I know I certainly have. I went and I've started to rebook my monthly healing sessions, and I've gone back to my people that I work with, and I'm like, right, I need to get back in the diary, because a few of them I had dropped off with over the summer just due to busyness and other things. It's very much about holding that space for yourself. It's okay to take self-care. Because as you do all that, then the Nine of Summer comes along to tell you, and this is the Fairy Godmother card. You can see the Fairy Godmother with the little fairy making all her dreams come true. And this card reminds us that this is a magical time, that this is the time for us to really, all our wishes can and will come true if we take our focused action and attention towards them. It was like I said last week during the second part of the frequency masterclass, the law of attraction is a very real thing, and it happens with our intention and our focused action to make things happen. There's a real energy of manifestation at this time of year about harnessing as we move into these transition and shifting seasons. It's like betwixt and between, and this is where the magic comes up. This is where it's a really potent and brilliant time to be working with the fairy kingdom and to be working like we're from Ireland here, folks. We have a lot of fairy energy in this country. But whether you're in this country or not, British Isles generally, there's a lot of fairy energy, but worldwide the fairies roam. Okay, they are there. The magic is there, the potency is there, the abundance is all around you. You just have to look for it. The magic is all around you. You have to just look for it and see it. And if you choose to believe and you choose to see it, then that's when you'll see it, when you believe. It's not like if I see, I'll believe. You have to believe first and then you see. Okay. And this is how it works. This is what happens in life, that whenever you are really tapping into listening to what's going on in your inner dialogue, taking responsibility for your energy, for how your reality is shaping up, because you have the power to shape your own reality. You step into the driving seat of your life every single day by how you show up for yourself. You can then use things like the natural world, stepping in, working in conjunction with it, as I say, with the Faery Reiki course, every course that's sold, I'm going to donate 25 quid to the British Beekeeping Association to do my part to try and help save the bees. But we also have everything else we can do. We can clean up after ourselves, we can pick up rubbish, we can recycle, and we can reuse where we can walk more gently on this earth. We can shape our reality so that we are working with the seasons and with the energies. And as a result of doing that, then our dreams can and will come true. So that's the vibe this week. As I said, the four cards this week very much do speak to that energy of, Mercury now about to go direct again as we move into the weekend. But before that, we have the new moon. So that new moon in Virgo asking us to cleanse, clear, declutter, step into this seasonal energy. Look at the magic. The veil is thinning between the two worlds. It's time to get your communication going with the other world, with the spirit world, with soul, with the fairy kingdom. Let that energy come up. The more that you work with it, the more you start to see it everywhere, the more you can start to see those signs and those synchronicities. And that in turn can help you really listen to your soul space, listen to the energy of the support system all around you, the invisible realms that you can't necessarily see with your eyes, but you can sense and feel and work with on a daily basis. And by doing that, you can really, really then start to live the life that you want to live and have your dreams all come true. So that's the message from the cards. It's a message for the energy this week. As you can hear, my throat has given off a little bit because I've spent so much time talking over the last couple of weeks with Heal and with Frequency. So I'm going to go and take a little bit of my own advice in the four of winter here. I'm going to go and recharge my batteries and do a little bit of inner work for myself as the week carries on. And next week I'm going to take a few days off as I get a much needed holiday. But so I'll not be here. Well, I might be here next Monday. I'll not be here the one after. But what I will say to you is please do check out the links, check out anything at all. And if you want to help me save the bees, then please do leave me a little bee emoji and I'll send you details. Or you can just click on the link that's in the comments to join the Faery Reiki course. And every person who joins, I will donate £25 to the British Beekeeping Association. And I will share that once the course starts so that you can see how much we raised together. So if you want to help me save the bees, let me know in the comments. And I would very much love to work with you as we move through. But let me know what else is going on for you as we step into autumn. Are you feeling a push to cleanse and clear and declutter? Are you nearly getting a spring clean vibe coming on as we step back into routine of September and back to school vibes and all that sort of stuff? So let me know what's going on for you. Let me know how your energy's been. Were you involved in Hail? You're welcome, Brenda. If you were working with me throughout the Hail challenge, that group is going to stay open for the rest of September. So you've plenty of time to catch up before I take it down. The frequency stuff is there as well. The replays are available. Those links, if you just scroll back through the feed, you'll find them if you haven't seen them. As I say, we're moving on now to saving the bees, treading lightly on this earth and really building sustainable and eco-friendly systems that we can live with so that we can bring that gorgeous biodiversity. So make sure as well, as I said earlier, that you are in the Neals Yard group. If you're not already, drop me a wee emoji or tell me in the comments if you want to be in that Neals Yard group and I'll share the link as well with you because the gorgeous new autumn season range and product range is coming out. Everything is focused towards biodiversity, sustainable living and saving the bees. So lots of gorgeous energy this week and lots of gorgeous energy coming ahead as we are in Organic Beauty Month as well for September. So I'll be sharing stuff in the Neals Yard group. For those who are interested in organic living, sort of being gorgeous starts with being on the inside, the beautiful healing energy. And then that can be applied also with organic beauty products for your face and your skin. So I will speak to you all about that inside that group. But for now, have a great week. Happy Monday, whatever you're up to. And just really enjoy yourself. Let me know in the comments what the crack is, what you're up to this week, and if the cards spoke to you. And I'll speak to you again next week. See you later.